Behind the firsts, the triumphs, the accolades. Behind all the solutions we provide, the experiences we create, all we've built over the years. Behind our culture, our purpose, our commitment to social responsibility. Behind every check, everywhere, big or small, is a team of people with a set of beliefs.
Everything we do, we build on a strong network foundation.
We focus outward on the customer.
We deliver superior customer experiences.
We embrace diversity.
We are committed to do the right thing.
We run to a crisis, not away.
We act fast and take risks every day.
We share our success with the community.
This is our Verizon Credo.
It's a set of values
about how we show up
each and every day.
And it goes to the heart of who we are.
How we treat each other.
How we serve our customers.
How we relate to the world.
This is our Verizon Credo.
And it's behind everything we do.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to our special edition of Up to Speed Live today, talking 1Q results. Joining me today will be our chairman and CEO, Hans Vestberg, as well as our chief financial officer, Matt Ellis, and some words that ring so true that, in the Credo video every time I see it, a team of people doing incredible things. And I think that's what we've seen from the start of this pandemic, but even going back to the beginning of the year. And that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about today. Hans is coming in now. Hans, I've seen you on TV a lot this morning. It seems a lot of folks want to know about how we've done. Give us the latest on the quarter, please, sir.
Thank you, Jeremy, and great to be back on Up to Speed today. We have been working with earnings all this week, of course, and yes, I've been on TV all this morning, trying to talk about the result, etc. But let me start with the main mission we have here. That is, of course, in this pandemic, is the safe and healthy of us, all our employees and the broader V-Team family. And that continues to be our mission. And secondly, of course, keeping the networks up. But let me talk a little bit about the first quarter as well. Putting in perspective, everything we've talked about during up to speed during this last month, summarizing that up. I think that first of all, I'm very proud of what we have done in this pandemic. We have an unprecedented situation. I've been in crisis before. I've been in the telecom crisis in the beginning of 2000. I've been in the bank crisis 2008 and 9. This is something totally different. It's a health crisis that impacts each and everyone wherever you are in the world, which is something very different. We decided as a company very early on to see that we have a good grip on the crisis with our emergency operations center that started to operate early in the quarter, as well as we got the majority of our leadership team and our organization working on the business as usual, seeing that we bring and continue doing business. And ultimately also working on how will the new normal look like in the future? What are the new products we might need to have? How are going to work in the future as well? That three-pronged way of dealing with this has been extremely important. Secondly, what has been important, of course, that keeping in mind the four stakeholders through this quarter and thinking about doing decisive decision, very balanced decision that positively the long term will impact all the four stakeholders in a positive way. Let me start with the employee side, all of us. I mean, we have done a dramatic transformation, of course, bringing a lot of us working from home And I have to say it has been almost flawless. I know there's challenges, but in general, it's working very well. Then I also have the big shout out to the front line. We still have a lot of our employees in the front line serving customers with this critical infrastructure that we are offering. And we have constantly updating our safety and health principles every day, every week to see that we're all the time are ahead of this curve of this pandemic. And I thank you all for that. It has been a fantastic work we have done. When it comes to customers, you know what we have done, and Matt will talk a little bit more about it. Some things like the Keep America Connected, that we're not disconnecting any small and medium businesses, nor any residential customer during this time, of course, has a financial impact. But again, it's important when we think about the 4 stakeholder making balanced decision that long-term is going to be the right. It's not right to disconnect people in this time. We are doing also the additional 15 gig data for all the metered wireless customer, etc. We have a long list we've talked about. When it comes to our societal impact, we continue doing a lot here. I mean, Pay It Forward Live is an excellent example how we have taken the lead to support the small and medium businesses with an enormous lot of people attending it, but also paying forward, which is most important. We have also the volunteerism, the virtual volunteerism that is kicking off for many of us, as well as donating to the most vulnerable in our society at the moment. And finally, we have the financials, which the stakeholder, which is important. I think that we have been very early on planning for uncertainty, taking cost measures even in the first quarter, which we have to do. Of course, we're traveling less, but also seeing that the third-party spending is coming down and other items that we can reduce we're doing in this time to prepare ourselves. But more important, Matt and his team has continued to work on a balance sheet, so we're in a good position coming into this crisis, adding money to the balance sheet in the first quarter with a new bond that we did. But not only that, they have worked for 3 years to bring it here. And ultimately, I didn't mention the network, but the network, of course, very much part of our delivery to our customers has kept up fantastically. And I talked today to the investors about all the changes in the capacity we've seen in the network, and our headroom in the wireless network has kept up well. I have a shout out to Kyle and the team, and which are doing a great job to keeping it up. And ultimately, that's how we have been running the company and will continue to do so, seeing that we're taking right decision for the 4 stakeholders. And I think that when we look at the first quarter, I feel proud what we have done. I mean, we have continued to focus on our targets, continue to grow our core business, where we added more spectrum in the latest spectrum auction. Not only that, seeing that our customer can continue to buy from us with an uptick in the digital channel. We're also leveraging our assets going forward, where Kyle has been on this show telling we're on plan for 5G and fiber. We continue to see that we are going to provide that to our customers, where we still are finding obstacles in the field. But our field is fantastic. They're working with the municipalities of digital permitting, working with the supply chain, Craig and his team, so things are coming out. So we are actually on plan for doing everything we said in the beginning of the year of the 60 cities on millimeter wave, ultra wideband, having nationwide on 5G this year, continue on the fiber. We're on plan. We don't know really if we can continue, but I have a lot of confidence in the team that is actually doing this and finding new ways every day. We continue to be disciplined on our financials, keeping a very prudent view on it on the balance sheet, because we want to come stronger out of this. And finally, I think what is even more important in one of our priorities for this quarter is, of course, or for this year, is of course to infuse the purpose-driven company, where I see the rally of the V-teamer across the whole company working hard to deliver to our customer. I mean, we have 20,000 of you that has been retrained to do other tasks. I mean, that's just amazing. And thousands of third parties, part of our delivery, doing it as well. So all in all, keeping all these priorities that I outlined in the beginning of the year, I can just tick off. We're doing all of them, even in this pandemic. And this is a delicate balance, but I think we have done it well. And if we look into the financial, we had a strong quarter. I mean, we continue to have growth in our cash flow, as well as on earnings per share. A little dip in our revenue, which is explainable because some of the explanation is we decided to put the safety and health for our employees first, rather than having stores open or actually doing more installation than needed. So we have really thought about this when we balance it out. So that's the summary of the quarter, but it's so much more this quarter than only the financial, is to see that all stakeholders in our matrix is actually having a positive feedback long-term finally. So by that, Jeremy, I'll leave it back to you and Matt to go a little bit deeper in the financials.
Good, Hans, thanks so much. And a lot of stuff there that you've just covered, and Matt will join us here in a moment as well to talk about a lot of great questions have come in for both of you. So be ready for those, and we'll go a little bit deeper in depth on some of those. But if you have any other questions on your mind, you can go ahead and drop us an email to live@verizon.com and we'll take a look at it. We talk a lot about 1Q and all of the things that happen. Every quarter, we like to give you a recap of actually what did go on in the quarter. So I want you to sit back and enjoy this for the next few minutes. As our 1Q review. Here you go.
If I had just one word to describe my team this quarter, it would be inspired.
Courageous.
Transformational.
Compassionate.
Dedication.
We delivered results.
We showed up for each other.
We continued to find new and better ways to serve our customers.
Let me give you just a few. Our G&T group continued to build out our 5G ultra-wideband nationwide in cities like Cincinnati, Little Rock, and Kansas City, while providing differentiated experiences at the Super Bowl and the Oscars. We continue to invest in our critical 4G, fiber, and global IP networks, and were recognized for our strong performance by J.D. Power and Root Metrics. When the crisis hit, we monitored and adjusted capacity to meet our customers' demands. We enabled a massive shift of our customer service to our online channels to make it easier for them to get the support they need. We scaled up our internal networks and integrated hardware and software, enabling over 100,000 V-teamers to work from home. We adopted social distancing for our work in the field so we can maintain essential field services. That was just a fraction of what this team accomplished.
Our consumer group continued to lead in the quarter with the introduction of a range of new 5G devices, including the Samsung S20 and the LG V60. We disrupted things with the launch of Mix and Match on Fios. At the start of the crisis, our team wanted to make sure that those most vulnerable stayed connected. So we waived late fees and overage charges for residential and small business customers, and we pledged not to terminate service. We added 15 gigs of data for our customers at no charge, and we created a new affordable internet option for those that need it most. We provided free premium content for our Fios customers and access to educational tools for students now learning at home. In order to continue to serve customers safely, we shifted as much service as possible online. We rapidly evolved procedures in the retail stores, modifying opening hours and reducing the number of stores open, instituting social distancing, and using in-store pickup and by appointment only processes. And we launched our retail redeployment strategy to help to keep everyone working productively.
Our business group announced strategic partnerships with Audi, NASCAR, and Honeywell in first quarter to deliver enhanced connectivity. We also expanded our 5G ecosystem with the opening of our 5G lab in London. In Verizon Business Group, we serve customers in 150 countries around the world. So we've been on this COVID battle since day one. It's accelerated our customers' adoption of new solutions and technologies. Businesses everywhere of all sizes turn to us to find new ways for them to expand connectivity, VPN, security, and provisioning. I've been thanked by first responders from municipalities across the country, by grocery chains for helping to keep their shelves stocked, by healthcare providers, hospital systems, and emergency service sites, by the Los Angeles schools for stepping up to provide essential distance learning connectivity to over 100,000 underserved students. In these unprecedented times, we've had a core objective within Verizon Business Group: be the partner of choice for our customers as they work their business continuity disaster recovery plans. We've done just that. We've been critical to what they deliver in terms of connectivity and helping them accomplish their mission.
This quarter has transformed our media group in so many ways. We unveiled Yahoo Mobile, our first ever unlimited ecosystem phone plan. And when COVID-19 hit, it suddenly highlighted the need for trusted and reliable content, as well as business innovation for our advertisers and publishers. Consumers are coming to us for content and information they can rely on during this pandemic. Our COVID-19 Up page, which lives across our ecosystem, has over 2 billion page views and 1 billion video streams. Likewise, Yahoo Mail usage has grown as people are looking for ways to stay connected. We helped launch Pay It Forward Live, a weekly live stream starring the biggest names in entertainment and gaming in support of small businesses. We donated $10 million in advertising to mental health organizations helping high-risk populations. We partnered with the Ad Council to create public service announcements and launch Yahoo Life, a new site focused on mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And our media platforms are seeing increases in delivery and streaming as consumers turn to gaming and entertainment.
We continue to lead in the way we care for our employees and the world around us. We started the year out of the gate with the expansion of our Verizon Innovative Learning Schools. To serve our customers in this new era, we fundamentally changed how we work, equipping and training over 100,000 V-Teamers to work from home in ways manageable for them and their loved ones. We transformed how we communicate to keep everyone current and connected. We opened up virtual volunteering opportunities for our V-Team. We committed tens of millions of dollars to nonprofits who support students and healthcare workers. We tripled our data allowance for our Verizon Innovative Learning Schools and made free digital access to the New York Times for all U.S. high school students.
If I was to sum up the quarter, I would say we delivered.
We are more customer-centric than ever.
Another reminder of how essential our work is.
I'm proud of the work this team did. I'm grateful for the way you served our customers.
This is the V-Team at its best.
Right there, the V-Team at its best. Well, if you think back of all the things that have happened in January, February, March, and now here we are. I want to switch gears and talk to Matt Ellis, our Chief Financial Officer. I know he's a longtime viewer, first-time joiner here, though, on the short show. Matt, how are you? Give us the latest from Wall Street.
Hey, good to hear you, Jeremy. Good to join everyone here today. So, look, we've released our earnings this quarter, and I think when you look at the quarter as a whole, there's a lot to be proud of from the financial results. You heard about on the video there from other members of the VLC, all the things going on in their groups. But when you look at the financial results too, there was a lot to be proud of. So let's start with the revenue. Revenue is down 1.6%, and you might say, okay, that doesn't sound too great, but it was really driven by the wireless equipment revenue, which was down 16% in the quarter. And as you look at where that came from, obviously in March when we started closing our stores to protect our employees and customers, and also customers, even if our stores weren't closed, they were under these social distancing procedures and stay from home, etc. So we saw a significant change in the volume there within our equipment revenue. As I say, that was down 16%. But our core revenues of our business, and you think about those as our service revenue, continue to grow well. We saw service revenue was up 1.9% in wireless across both consumer and business, with business really having a continuation of the strong trends over the past few quarters in service revenue growth, up 6.9% in the quarter. So a lot to be proud of in there. Within media, continued making good progress early on in the quarter from the trends that we'd seen last year, but then similarly when COVID hit, had an impact on their revenue stream. They ended the quarter down 4% on a year-over-year basis, with all of that negative impact really coming through in the month of March. So all in all, we continue to see good growth in the core parts of our business. So we enter this period from a position of strength from that standpoint. When you look at the next line on the slide there, consolidated adjusted EBITDA, this is our earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation, amortization. So you think the core earnings of the business when you take the revenues and you subtract out the labor costs and costs of equipment and network costs and so on. And those were essentially flat year over year. One key item in there, we took a bad debt reserve of $228 million. And every quarter we assess the amount of money that customers owe us. They're on our receivables and our balance sheet at the end of the quarter. So think about the current service revenue that customers owe us, but also the balances on their handset device loans. And then so we look at those and we assess how many of those do we think we will ultimately not collect. And so obviously as we did that at the end of the quarter, there was a slightly different view than under normal times. And so that's why we had that in there. So that was a higher expense than normal. But absent that, we continue to produce strong earnings for the business. And when you get all the way down the income statement, you get to earnings per share or EPS. And this is after we backed out, in addition to the labor costs and equipment costs and network costs, we also back out depreciation, interest expense, and taxes as the primary other things. And the interest expense was down year over year as we've managed our debt down, and also interest rates have come down too. Depreciation was down slightly as well. So net, there was a 5% improvement there in the first quarter on a year over year basis. So good to continue that trend we've had over a number of quarters now of showing year over year growth in EPS. Our free cash flow, this is the cash from operating the business after also capital spending. As you think the money we spend on adding capacity to the network and other activity we do there came in at $3.6 billion. So two good things about this, up 26% on a year over year basis, as Hans mentioned, which obviously shows that we're turning the results into cash, which obviously matters. But it also meant that we have a dividend each quarter, $2.5 billion. And so even after paying the dividend, we continue to generate positive cash flow. So that's kind of a summary of the results. Then as I think about the earnings call this morning, and this was a very different earnings call. Historically, when we do the earnings call, it's a review of the earnings that we reported. And a couple of reasons we didn't spend a lot of time on those earnings. One was obviously people are more interested right now in what's going on right now. But the other reason was the results were good in the first quarter, so they didn't have as many questions around that. So they want to focus on what we see going forward here. And you know, one of the reasons why we didn't spend a lot of time looking at that, as I say, the results were good, and it wouldn't be a quarterly earnings webcast without me saying results matter. So that allowed everyone to focus on, okay, so what's going on in the business now? And we took some extra time in our prepared remarks this morning. We put some extra information in there that we wouldn't normally show. We showed the volumes that we were seeing across the business from middle of March through middle of April to really show kind of the first month of COVID impact. And you see the impact on our business, reduced volumes, certainly on the consumer side of the business, but then also some of the strong volumes we'd seen in public sector and enterprise as those customers reacted to this situation as well with increasing needs for our products and services. So we took some time doing that. The other big thing we did was we updated our guidance. And guidance is something we typically provide at the start of the year. And we tell our investors what they should expect from us in the coming year in terms of revenue growth and earnings growth and a couple of other items. But the big ones they focus on is our views on revenue growth and earnings growth. And so normally we do that at the start of the year. We'll provide little bits of updates through the year, but this was very different. A lot of companies have withdrawn guidance for the year because of the uncertainties right now. And we spent some time thinking about that. Did we have enough view? And we ultimately decided that we withdrew guidance for revenue because with the equipment revenue component and really not knowing exactly how customer behavior is going to evolve here over the next few months, we didn't have a high degree of confidence in saying where we thought total revenue would come in. But we did want to give our investors and other people a sense of the earnings of our business. So our adjusted EPS guidance had been +2% to +4% growth from the number we produced in 2019. We took that down a little bit to -2 to +2 and widened the range a little bit. And we spent time talking about the impacts that we're seeing in the second quarter on primarily on our revenue line. You heard Hans talk about some of those this morning, whether it be the Keep Americans Connected pledge, the additional 15 gigabit of data, customers not traveling as much and paying for that access while they're international. So we talked about a number of those things and explained the guide there with the impact on the second quarter, and then said we're going to have to see how the second half of the year plays out. So we gave a lot more forward-looking comments than we normally do. A lot of good conversation in Q&A with the sell side analysts about that guide and our view of the business going forward. But what it really comes down to is, while certainly none of us have the level of certainty we would often have, the things I do feel good about, the things we do know is we have a business that's been performing well for a number of quarters now as we've gone into this situation. We have products and services that customers want and need in normal times, and they need them even more in a time like this. And we've done things to manage the balance sheet on the front end. And I use the term likened to having some shock absorbers in the business to be able to withstand that. So we do know those things. That gives us the reason why we're still very confident in the long term of the business. When we get on the other side of this thing, we'll be in a good position, and we'll keep on building out 5G and everything else. So just one last comment before I go. And you heard all of the comments from Tammy and Ronan and so on the video there. And the team across Verizon is doing incredibly well. I just want to take a minute to say thank you so much to the finance team. The work you've done over the past 5 to 6 weeks, adjusted to working in a very different environment, got us in a position to report on time. The SEC gave companies the opportunity to extend their reporting cycle with their teams out of the office. We didn't need it because our team is so phenomenal. They adjusted quickly, and I want to thank all of them for that. So, Jeremy, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you for the update, Matt, and some more questions coming your way here shortly. Now, I want to switch gears before we get into questions. Usually at this time, we recognize either some individual contributors or teams that are out there and doing some work. So I want to back up to the beginning of March for this, really the end of February. So on the night of March 2nd into March 3rd, if we go and take a look at this video that we're rolling, West and Middle Tennessee just got walloped by tornadoes, including one that hit downtown Nashville and others that impacted areas in the state. Now, as a result of this, you can see the damage was catastrophic. Our network and network took a hit in some parts. Fiber backhaul was destroyed. We had more than 250 cell sites out of service. The team quickly sprung into action, as you can see, as they always do. They set up spots, which are satellite Pico cells on trailer to support emergency operations. Satellite trailers, they ended up deploying 4 spots, 16 satellite trailers, and installed 6 temporary microwave paths during the restoration, 100% restored within the week. Now, I want to call out 2 folks on this team who made all of this happen. We can go and see their photos here. Andy Stump and Jeff Massey, they are both field engineers. They went above and beyond during the restoration, taking on a lot of this work, working through a lot of challenges, including long hours, challenging conditions caused by downed power lines and trees. They never lost focus on the priority of providing service to those who desperately needed it in the wake of the event. We always talk about running to a crisis and connecting people when they need it most. Those 2 gentlemen there did it along with their team. So today, happy to present them with a virtual Credo Award. I pretend here it is in my hands, but it's for you, it's for your teams, and it's for all of you hardworking network engineers and folks around the business who keep our customers connected. So hats off to you, and thanks so much to Andy and Jeff. And here's another piece. Tornadoes hit Chattanooga a couple weeks later, not much longer, on Easter Sunday. They were back in action, connecting those folks again. Hans, when you hear stories like this, what does that mean to you as the leader of our business?
You'll be very proud of team members like Andy and Jeff and the whole team that in these times, continue relentless to think about our customers. And they are a team of many that just made this happen. And of course, if you think about the people behind it, meaning the people and our customers in Tennessee that, of course, were impacted by this event and getting them connected very early on, we know how important that is. So now this is telling me how we are working in this company, and we have so many examples of it. And I think this is a great example of showing how the team is showing up, doing what we call business as usual, which is far away from business as usual for many people, and how people go beyond and above to see that our customers are connected. So thank you, team. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Hans, thanks for those words. Now, let's jump into some questions here. We've got a lot, and some continue to come in. Again, you can send those to us via email live@verizon.com. Hans, this first question is for you, starting with Jennifer Pryor from Wilmington, North Carolina. Jennifer, I hope you and Thomas are doing well. I know them. No reason that I picked this question, but it's a good question. Jennifer wants to know about work from home negative impacts. Did you see any negative impacts because everyone transitioning, or a majority of the business, I should say, transitioning to work from home during this?
Of course, there are complexity to work from home for many of our employees. I mean, it's a new environment. There are things in the home environment that are impacting, etc. But overall, it has worked tremendously good. I see that we have so much interaction in the company. We'll continue to run our business as usual while managing this crisis. So yes, there are challenges. It would be strange that we move home 115,000 employees to work from home, but it still works. So the shout out is to all the employees that makes this happen. Even that you have you're a parent taking care of your children or things like that, it has worked. But it's also a shout out to our IT. Our IT department has made this happen, and I have to say, in many senses, we are continue to be very productive in this environment. So yes, there are problems, but I think that the V-teamers have overcome them.
All right. Hans, this next one is for you as well, from Lori in Hilliard, Ohio. Lori wants to know, given the innovation we've seen, and you talked about that from our GTS team making the remote work enabled, what have we learned that we can continue to do to make us even more effective once we're in the post-crisis world?
I think a lot. Some of the societal impacts that we see right now, that people will work from home more, and e-learning will be there, telehealth will be there. We will learn from that, and some of them we will just carry on doing. And then you think about the innovation we've done, how we deal with our customers in stores, more digital or online sales. But not only that, then we have our field engineers that has innovated the files in a box and things like that. That will stay. All that innovation is just productivity improvement. That's why we're serving our customers even better. So yes, as a team we work with, of course, the crisis, which Christy is leading. Then we have the majority of the team working with our ongoing business. Then we have also part of our team thinking about what long-term impacts will this pandemic have, and how do we come stronger out of this, and how do our offerings evolve, and how do we deal with it as a company as well. So yes, a short answer is we will see changes which will improve for our customers and for us when it comes to productivity.
Gotcha. Hans, some more questions from you in a moment. Matt, want to swing this one your way. This one comes from Reggie Black on the business group team in Houston, Texas. Wanted to talk about revenue growth and new normal. With us all globally living in this new normal now, Matt, what from a revenue growth perspective surprised you most, and how does Verizon best leverage that for years to come?
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Reggie. So as I look at the revenue, nothing major has surprised me so far. When you think about our business, our revenue is built on, the subscription model. We bill customers every month for most of the services we do, and there's services that customers need. So we've continued to see strong numbers in there. Obviously, there's been some adjustments, as we talked about, from not charging late fees, not charging overage by giving customers the extra 15 gigabit of data a month. The travel roaming and so on being down. But in general, the revenue is where we need it to be right now. And as I think about this new normal going forward, I know both Ronan's team and Tammy's team are thinking about, both for consumers and businesses, how does this change how they do things going forward, and develop into products and services that allow us to continue to be so important in our customers' lives. So there's a lot of good work going on there. I think we're well positioned as we go into this new normal, because we all know on the other side of this thing, how we work and so on isn't going to be exactly the same as it was beforehand. And I think we're in a good position. We can adapt and provide the products and services that customers need. Would allow us to grow revenue going forward. But it's critically important that we spend time understanding what those new customer needs are, make sure we're in a position to meet them. The teams are working on that. And if we execute against that, I think we'll like where the revenue trajectory of our business is after that.
Got it. Good stuff there, Matt. I'm going to stick with you for this next question as well from Andreas in New Jersey on the consumer group team, talking about the brand value that we've gained over the past few weeks. How would you define that amount of value that we've created in the past 4 to 6 weeks around the response to coronavirus?
Yeah, I think I'm very proud of the way the company has shown up in the response to this, whether it be the things we've done with the network team continuing to provide a phenomenal service, even with the massive change in usage, whether it be the pay it forward live and so many other things we've done, the things we've done to take care of our people. And here's the way I think about it from a CFO seat. A lot of the investments we make in this company, by the very nature of who we are, we make significant investments, largely in network assets, but other things too, that are there to generate business for not just years, but decades. And we'll only generate the returns on those investments if we are around for that time period. So to be around for a long time period, you got to be a company that local communities are proud to have your assets based in their communities. You got to be a company that employees want to work for, because without having a great set of employees, those assets don't turn into the great company that we have. And you got to be there for society as a whole. So you think about some of the things we do around the environment, and obviously a lot more to do there. So we've had the opportunity to really showcase all of the things that we normally do great across all our stakeholders in an environment like this. And I think it puts us in a position where people have a better opportunity to see the great values that this company has. I'm certainly proud talking about those when I talk to the folks on Wall Street. But sometimes, unfortunately, people don't hear all of that in a normal environment. In a situation like this, you really see who companies are. And I couldn't be more proud of how Verizon has shown up for employees, for customers, and for society as a whole, and also for our investors too. So absolutely, I agree with your point that there's a lot of brand value that we've created here. It doesn't show up in revenue day one, but it's the type of thing that helps us have a sustainable business over the long haul, where our customers are proud to say that they have Verizon as their carrier and provide services to them.
Yeah, good, man. I know we continue to get notes from customers thanking us for everything we're doing. Hans, I want to go to this one for you. Probably one of the most like that we've had since we've started Up to Speed Live, but Trent and a few others want to know about business as usual and reopening. What will the procedure for opening offices back up for work be? Will it be in phases or roles or role dependent or job dependent when we're back to that?
First of all, we need to remind ourselves that we have a fair amount of our employees that's actually still open, and they are in the field and working every day. So the shout out is to them, first of all. When it comes to our administrative offices and reopening of those, Christina and the team is working with the VLC to think through those details. And as we said before, it will be some sort of a staggered coming back to offices, etc. We haven't 100% defined, but we work with it every day. And it will also be geographically different. I mean, we have offices in Asia, Europe, United States, of course, where is our biggest market. So it will be different in different places. We will continue to think about the safety and health of all of us as number one when we do this, and see that we do this in a very organized way. And I just urge you to stay tuned to the Up to Speed, because Krista and I will be there to continue to give you updates what's happening, as this is a fluid sort of process, and nothing is defined yet. But we're working with it, and we'll have clear guidelines how we're going to do it the day we're going to come back to the offices.
All right, Hans, thanks for that. And good plug. Don't forget, we'll be back here next week, every day at noon Eastern, and we'll continue to update folks. Hans, sticking with you for this next one as well. Since the announcement last week of the deal with the Blue Jeans, Charles wants to know, with the acquisition, are we going to standardize internally and use that along with all the other tools that we have to connect?
So we're not really closed with the deal yet. There are some regulatory approvals still to be left there. That's going to take us some weeks more. But as this is closed, Tammy and the team will have a clear priority what type of product development we need to do in order to fit into our portfolio for our customers. But also, Shankar and the team will, of course, our CIO Shankar will, of course, also work how we can use this product in our sort of internal work. So that's going to happen. But clearly, we need to make the list of priorities in order to see that we continue to serve the customer that is using Blue Jeans. But over time, I see us using Blue Jeans internally as well.
I know when Tammy joined us earlier this week, she said she had been using it a bit, but they're still going through the very early stages of what all that looks like. And like you mentioned, not a closed deal yet, so definitely more to come. Matt, some folks want to know, Sharika out of Silver Spring, Maryland wants to know about reducing costs and financial impact. Obviously, we're keeping our customers connected and our commitments there, but the customer is also saving money on utilities since implementing the work from home strategy. How are those elements impacting our bottom line, she wants to know?
Yeah, great question. So, and as you think about it, really breaking down between the first quarter results and then the second quarter. So obviously this started to show up in the first quarter, but we're going to see a bigger impact from those items in the second quarter. Obviously, a number of our buildings are closed right now, and there will be savings associated with that, whether that's utilities or just some of the other operating costs around that. We're also seeing a reduction in travel expenses. I was remarking to someone earlier before we came on that I think I've forgotten how to approve an expense report because it's been a while since one's come through. So we're certainly seeing some of those things come through in terms of savings. But really, the message I'd have for everyone around this is we've been doing a lot of work over the past few years around making our business as efficient as it can be. And I'm proud of the work we've done. We've still got work to do. That work doesn't stop. But because of that work we've done, it puts us in a better position when you enter an unexpected period like this. And you never know when those things are going to come along or what they're going to be and so on. But it's a lot easier to respond to the changing situation when you're in good shape. And we put ourselves in that position where we are in better shape from a cost standpoint, which is allowing us to continue to invest in our business going forward. As you heard on the video with Carl talking about the things our rollout of 5G and fiber and so on continues. And so that's why they're continuously working on the cost side of the business, making our operations as efficient as they can be, creates a lot more choices from us in terms of investing in new things. We just talked about Blue Jeans. One of the reasons we had the capability of doing that is because of the way we've run the business. And we had I talked about the strong cash flow in the first quarter. That allows us to take advantage of those opportunities when they come up, even in a time like this. So yes, absolutely, we have some things on the cost side that are probably a little more favorable right now. But there's some other cost items which are a little higher than normal right now as well. But my encouragement to everyone is, as we get used to this environment, let's not lose sight of our ongoing efforts to continue to make our business as efficient as it can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Hans, bouncing back to you on this one, David from Newport News, asking a little bit about network build out. I know along the way you've mentioned the reliability and the reasons and or the pieces of our network, wireless, fixed, as well as fiber. How do those look to be coming? Are we going to expand fiber out to more people if more people stay working from home, or 5G? Does that mean we're going to go into new markets? What's your sense of that?
I think our strategy is pretty intact when it comes to the network build that Kyle and his team has outlined together with our commercial side. I think it's have accentuated how we want to roll out, meaning we think that 5G home is going to be a really important offering for broadband at home. We also continue with Fios deployment, and we have had our engineers up here talking about the Fios in the box, so we'll continue with that. The difference is that we have our footprint where we can have Fios, and we will continue there. And ultimately, the mobility with 5G will also be extremely important in these times, and we will continue to do that. So nothing has changed how we build the network, but the usage of the network might be different. But it doesn't change our core strategy, how we build the network. And as I said earlier, our plans this year are big when it comes to the network. 5 times more 5G radio base stations, 10 mobile edge compute centers, national 5G coverage. All that still is on the plan that we have, and our team is executing fantastically well. That doesn't mean there might be problems, but we have so far found ways to work around it. So our technology strategy is intact, and we will continue to execute on that in this environment.
Hans, thank you. Matt, thank you as well. One reminder before we go to Hans for a wrap of the week and thoughts ahead. Next week, you will get another version of the Pulse survey. We'll be hitting your mailboxes early in the week. A reminder, last time, 73% of you participated in that. Can't thank you enough for doing that. You've heard Hans say it, Chrissy say it. Let's bump that number a little bit more, because this feedback matters, and our leadership is able to use that to figure out where we need to go with the business and how we need to work as employees, because no one knows the business better than you do. Like I said, early next week, you'll get that. It has 6 questions and a comment box, a chance for you to provide some other feedback there. I know that's been one piece of feedback we got on the feedback mechanism. So we are listening, or the team is listening for that. It will remain open for 3 days, so take care of that as soon as it comes in. And then Hans and Christy will share those results with us at the end of next week, it looks like. So just a reminder, Pulse hitting your mailboxes again early next week. Hans, as we're going into the weekend, another week here, how are you staying well? How are you keeping your mind straight? And final thoughts for us.
That was many questions in one there. But first of all, I think the reminder on the Pulse survey is very important. That mechanism for us has played a vital role, how we get the feedback from all of you out there. We had 73% of you responding last time. We only give you a couple of days. We're going to do the same this time as well, because we want quick impulses and see where we are. And now we have been, some has been 8 weeks into this pandemic and this crisis, and some 4 weeks. But all in all, we want to hear from all of you. So I think that's important. How do I stay clear in my mind? I have a lot of people I work with every day, and I talk to a lot of people, of course, doing what Jeremy and I are preaching all the time, reaching out to people, seeing that you communicate even more in these times. That's what I'm doing. I talk to external people. I talk with internal people. I talk to my leadership team constantly to see that we all are supporting each other in this time, because we all need support. Finally, just summing up now, if you then look back a little bit, because this is a little bit a day of looking back, I feel really good about how we showed up as a company in the first quarter, thinking about the different stakeholders we have, and actually seeing that we actually take decisions that are long-term positively for all the different stakeholders that we have. I feel really good about that. I also feel good about how we perform in financially. And I also feel good about the strategy that we have laid out, because it's even more important these times, and I feel good how we execute on it. But I want to remind you all that we continue to go into a very uncertain time. It's a crisis that is global and impacts each and every one of us and the economy. So as Matt said, we cannot rest right now. We just need to continue to push. And even though we can look back on handling it well so far, we just need to continue to push and work and deliver our service to our customers. Because this can take for a while before this gets back to normal. And it's going to be a new normal, as we have discussed so many times. So I urge you all from a company point of view to continue to push that. Think about how we lead in this time. We are a leader in the market. We need to continue to lead in this market. So I urge you to continue the work you have done. And finally, some of you go into the weekend, always think about rest and energy. and see that you come out even stronger next week and the week after that, because Verizon and all the V-teamers, we want to come out from this crisis as a stronger company. So once again, thank you for all the great work you have done, all V-teamers and the broader V-team family. We continue to push forward. I will push forward. I will take my leadership and do that. And I want all you V-teamers doing the same. So thank you. And back to the host of this fantastic show, Up to Speed Live.
Thanks, Hans. I told you we had a good one for you today, and I did. Hopefully, I didn't let you down. I'll make sure to remark that in my pulse survey next week when I do that. So I hope you and your family have a good weekend. Matt, you as well, to you and your family and everyone out there. Time to reconnect, reground ourselves, and what matters in life. And a lot of this quarter that we talked about today was spent obviously serving our customers and whatnot, but it's also an opportunity to look around to our own teammates and say thank you. And so today I want to end with a quick thank you to all of you. Thank you so much. We'll see you Monday.
I would like to express my personal thanks to you, your team, and Verizon
for all of the amazing work you've delivered in the last couple of weeks.
For what you have done for first responders and small business.
I think you guys should get all of my credit, and I love your ladder truck.
I am a mother of two and have my elderly father who lives with me in my home. I just wanted to say thank you.
I just wanted to take a moment to give accolades to Christina for her professionalism, patience, and uplifting attitude.
I just want to say thank you to our Verizon partners who helped us bring joy and encouragement to the most vulnerable in our community.
I want to report to you the actions of a good Samaritan disguised as a Verizon lineman.
It's always a privilege, honor to be with you and your team. You guys are really synchronized in your vision.
My thanks to all of the employees, and particularly those of you that are really providing all of us in the world kind of access to information. What you're doing is helping not just the United States, but the world stay informed